Hello everyone, welcome back to the Zekko football channel. In one of the most anticipated games of the week, Liverpool take on Chelsea at Anfield. But who comes out on top? Today we discuss. If you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe, you like the video, and you turn on those notifications because you really don't want to miss anything. And now, let's dive in. To begin, let's have a look at the predicted starting lineups, and because they are the side at home, let's talk about Liverpool. I've got them set up in their standard 4-3-3 formation, but I've got a couple of changes from their most recent games. I've got Alisson in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold came on as a sub in their most recent match, and I've got him starting. I think he's going to be one of the major players going forwards for this Liverpool side, and they're just a different outfit without him playing. And considering that Chelsea have found some form of their own, I think he could do with playing and starting to dictate that midfield. Konate and Van Dijk will maintain their centre-back partnership, and Andy Robertson is going to come back in after Tsimikas picked up an injury. Joe Gomez has been very good out on this left-hand side. However, Robertson coming back into the fold, I think is something that can only help Liverpool, and his dynamism going forwards is something that Liverpool have missed recently. Alexis McAllister is going to be the main centre defensive midfielder for me, as I think he's going to be very good at moving forwards, but also partnering up with Trent when he decides to move forward into that midfield area. Curtis Jones has been one of the standout performers for Liverpool this season. I've enjoyed seeing him flourish in that forward-thinking, attacking 8 role, as I have enjoyed Dominic Szoboszlai. He's a very, very good player. 2 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League really doesn't showcase the amount of talent that this guy has, but I really do think that later on in the campaign he's going to start picking up those numbers and making sure that he's establishing himself as one of the best players in this league. Luis Diaz is out on this left-hand side, who is found in red-hot form, as is Cody Gakpo, who has been able to link the play with Liverpool that little bit better. Harvey Elliott I've got in this Mo Salah right-hand side role. Salah is obviously injured, and it could have been a number of players. It could have been Gakpo out on this right, but I think that Elliott is going to be able to drift around here and just make sure he's able to link up with the likes of Gakpo, with the likes of Szoboszlai, and it's down this right-hand side that I think Chelsea might be a little bit vulnerable, so that's why I've got Elliott here instead. Chelsea aren't exactly going to expose themselves all too much, and even when they do, Elliott's going to be able to play those intricate passes whenever he needs to. And this is your Liverpool side. And now let's turn our attention to the visiting side, Chelsea. I've got them set up in their 4-2-3-1 formation. I've got Sanchez in goal. Disasi out on this right-hand side. Gusto might be fit, however, there's still a question mark over whether he'll be available for the game against Liverpool. Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill have done a good job at centre-back, so I expect them to start together. Ben Chilwell is back from injury finally, and that means that Chelsea just have a different option. I was really impressed with his game against Middlesbrough, and I expect him to come back into the starting lineup against Liverpool. Moving into the midfield, we have Enzo Fernandez, who did a sensational job about drifting into a central attacking midfield role. I expect him to do this in the game against Liverpool, but he's going to be starting next to Caicedo, trying to dictate the play from a little bit of a deeper role, especially to start the game. Moving ahead, we have Gallagher for his major contributions in terms of his physicality, his running ability, and his sheer energy. He's going to be needed to help that press, along with Cole Palmer out on this right-hand side, Raheem Sterling for a bit of danger out on this left, and Armando Broja is going to be the main leading man. Chelsea still have not found themselves a striker in the January window, so I fully expect Broja to start, and of course, Nicholas Jackson is away on international duty. This is your Chelsea side. So we've got the lineups. Now let's talk about how the game is going to break down. From a Liverpool perspective, I think they're going to have more of the ball. Chelsea are going to try and hold on to possession, but I expect Liverpool, with the fact that they're at home, to be that little bit more dominant. I'm looking towards Luis Diaz and Harvey Elliott, and their duels up against the 2 Chelsea fullbacks. In particular, Luis Diaz's duel up against Axel Disasi. He's going to win this in a foot race more often than not, so it's going to be crucial for Caicedo to come out and help whenever he can. That being said, the overlapping runs from Andy Robertson are also going to be a major problem, and considering the fact that Cole Palmer isn't exactly the most defensively orientated, I think down this Chelsea right-hand side and down this Liverpool left-hand side is where Liverpool are going to find most of their joy. The late runs from the likes of Curtis Jones down this side, I think, are going to be devastating. The cutbacks to the likes of either Alexis McAllister with a third man run, or even a Cody Gakpo if he's in that area, that central striking zone, I think is going to be extremely important, and Chelsea are going to need to have their wits about them. They're going to need to be picking up people, because Liverpool's late man runs are some of the best in the league. Then we need to look at the role of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Although he's in this right back area, I fully expect him to move into midfield at some point during the game, especially when Liverpool have the ascendancy. What we're going to see is Alexis Mac Allister moving over a little bit, and then Trent moving into midfield, creating this box that we know about. We've got the likes of Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones in the 8 positions, picking up roles in between the 2 Chelsea midfielders, but also just in front of the Chelsea centre-backs. This is going to create a lot of havoc, and communication for Chelsea is going to be absolutely key. Another thing that's going to be key is Trent Alexander-Arnold in this game. His switches of play to Luis Diaz, like I've mentioned, is going to be really important. Liverpool actually have the most switches of play in the Premier League, and I fully expect them to utilise that asset yet again. As for going forwards, like I've said, the utilisation of their wingers is going to be absolutely crucial, and it's those driving runs towards the byline that's going to cause Chelsea the most problems, in my opinion. The attacking 8s are going to be making their blindside runs into the box, and I can't see a way that Chelsea are going to defend this if they overwhelm them down the flanks, like we have seen Liverpool do so many times before. That being said, Chelsea aren't completely out of this either, and let me explain why. The long and short of it is, Chelsea have quality. If you look all around this Chelsea side, no player is really bad. I suppose you could look at Conor Gallagher and say that he isn't exactly the most technically gifted of players, but his work rate and energy is something that definitely could disrupt this Liverpool side. And if we think back to the time that Liverpool actually played Chelsea, that's exactly what happened. Enzo Fernandez dropped a little bit deeper and really started to dictate play like a metronome. He really found his way and found his passing range super early in the game, and that meant that Liverpool had to be on the back foot at a certain point. We also need to remember that Jurgen Klopp's side have come off the back of an FA Cup game. Chelsea have had longer time to rest, and they're also starting to get into a rhythm. I think some of the wins that they've managed to accumulate, albeit few and far between, have given them a little bit more confidence. They've still got a major issue in the striking department, and I do think that they need to dip into the market. That being said, Armando Broja has got a goal in him, and I do think that if they manage to get Cole Palmer into these more attacking areas, I see Chelsea doing some damage. Palmer in particular is the player that I'd really look towards. If you see him out on this right hand side, he's definitely going to go drifting, and in that sense I see Axel Disasi really making those long busting runs to try and help him. This drags Andy Robertson away and just gives him a little bit more space. Let's not pretend that Curtis Jones is a real defensive midfielder, far from it, and in fact, although Liverpool are fantastic going forwards, I don't really see a defensive midfielder in this trio. Now, they've mitigated that by the fact that they all defend as one, but I think that if Cole Palmer is able to drift inside, and then you've got some off-the-ball runs from the likes of Raheem Sterling, from the likes of Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez, even if he moves into a more attacking 8 role, I can see Chelsea causing some problems. Previously, Enzo Fernandez against Middlesbrough did a very good job of moving into an attacking 8 role. I think Conor Gallagher should help and adapt with this, allowing Chelsea to adopt a more attacking formation. This is backed up by the likes of Colwill and the likes of Thiago Silva, both with good passing ranges and ability. We've got Levi Colwill, we've got Ben Chilwell out on this left-hand side, and if Cole Palmer drifts in with Disasi overlapping, I can see some good fortune for Chelsea. Conor Gallagher needing to help out where he can do for those passing lanes, for those channel runs, and I can see Caicedo just mopping up, giving Chelsea a little bit more possession and a little bit more authority in the game. But it all hinges on whether Enzo Fernandez can go forwards and pick the passes like we know he can. Cole Palmer is going to be taking up a lot of these Liverpool defenders' attention, and that means they need an extra body, somebody else to really make those creative plays, and then for me, that's Enzo Fernandez. He needs to be making those runs and those balls into the likes of Disasi when he moves forwards, the likes of Raheem Sterling when he hits the byline, and the crosses and the late man runs, especially from Gallagher, Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, is going to be absolutely crucial. Now, while I'm saying this, I don't exactly have too much faith in Chelsea to try and get something from Anfield and a really hot Liverpool crowd, especially considering the news that Jurgen Klopp will not be at the club next season. However, I do expect an entertaining match. I do expect a very, very good game. and I expect some goals. In this particular scenario, I expect Liverpool to be winning this game by 2-1. But don't think that Chelsea are completely out of it, far from it. I still think that Chelsea have quite a bit to give, and it's going to be a difficult game for Liverpool, even though I see them winning. But my question to you is, how do you see this game going? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts, how it's going to play, and the score predictions. So get in the comments. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care.